information call for July 20th, 2020, Monday. If your life was, let's say, a vehicle, would you let go of the steering wheel? Think about that. If your life was a vehicle, would you let go of the steering wheel? Now, when you know that the divine intelligence is your personal chauffeur throughout your entire life, if you knew this, okay, many people don't know this, you're always being guided down the right road. Now, you have to pay close attention and really listen, then you will naturally trust where your heart is letting you go. And that grip you had on the wheel will loosen on its own accord, and you can relax. And when you do this, it feels so good in the body, and you'll enjoy the gorgeous scenery around the so much more. And through relaxation, you'll be able to savor every moment of the ride and trust life more than you ever have before. This is probably the only way to truly be alive and enjoy this amazing and effortless, awesome adventure. How many people, let's just say that your life was the vehicle, and you tell them, let go of the steering wheel. Let the divine intelligence be your chauffeur throughout your entire life. What is the divine intelligence? Well, you carry a part of it inside your body. The kingdom of God, the God, source, creation, pure consciousness, which is also connected with the universe. But what happens to us when we're in physical form and then we learn certain things and experience, get exposure to certain things? We get separated from our God. That's pretty normal for most of us. It's not something that's unusual or bad. It's something that we all, some kind of know. Others really are in the dark. And that those that do know are constantly perfecting themselves so that they can literally let go. Sometimes we let go and then we grab it again. You know, if you let go of the steering wheel, you'll create disturbances like, oh, the vehicle's going off course, it's going to go out to the field. I better grab the steering wheel. So it's the physical life experience in this body that we become our confidence, number one, and our belief to the God within us, to the divine intelligence. And divine intelligence is basically all things, guiding all things. Now, a lot of people would say, because they visualize it in this material world, then they sit there and say, well, you know, you're crazy because you could drive off of a cliff if you let go of the steering wheel. You have no control. See, you're crazy to do that. You could end up having to leave the body. So, in this case, you begin to understand, and once you understand that you're immortal, and that the God within you is immortal, so you don't have to worry about, having something happen to the body and having to leave the body. That's a big thing. Can you let go of the steering wheel of your life? Can you just let it go? And you just flow. And you know that the divine intelligence is literally there and guiding you to the most wonderful and fulfilling avenues possible, finitely engineered. But then what happens to a lot of us? Well, we interfere in that flow. We're constantly interfering. So the divine intelligence will take the steering wheel of the vehicle of your life and guide you, but you will grab the steering wheel and try and do it yourself. It doesn't mean that you are not, intimately interactive with all things, the flow of all things with the divine intelligence. It's just that there are some things that you've got autopilot for. In autopilot, divine intelligence comes in and drives the vehicle, which is your life. You're just there to take in the scenery. You're just there to watch all the beauty and everything as you're being guided through life. And that doesn't mean that you're just like a zombie and you're not interactive or anything. It just means that you aren't concerned of your destination. You're really not concerned about it. It isn't even any kind of an issue for you, because you have the confidence that you're literally being chauffeured through this life by the divine intelligence, that which created that which is all creation, source creator. So you're being guided. Now, obviously, you view things and take a look at things and experience things, sure, because the divine intelligence, which part of it is in you, each of us, has well engineered everything finitely. So you see how we fight things, though? Well, how do we do that? How do we end up fighting things? Because the ego mind, that little guy, comes in, and of course, we have the mind, which is just basically everywhere. There's no structure. And so the mind comes in, and we start being fed what if and worry and stress and fear. All these thoughts come in that we create into reality. We create those thoughts into reality. And as we create them into reality, we may not be aware that we're creating them into reality, but then things take place. And then we go, I wasn't expecting it. Why did this happen? And, this is ridiculous. And is there some dark cloud over me? And there isn't. It's just you and your intervention in a lot of different things that your chauffeur, divine intelligence, is literally, you're flowing down the road. Like an old song back in the 60s, ease on down the road. And that's what we're doing. We're easing on down the road. Not up the road, down the road. And this is an adventure. This life that we all are involved with or part of is an adventure. Do you know your destination? Do you really know your destination? No, you don't. But you try. You try to configure. You try to determine, okay, so where am I going to end up? What direction am I going in? And am I going to get lost? And am I going to run out of things? And all of this stuff comes in. And that stuff is coming from the ego mind, the mind. Neither have any control mechanisms. Neither of them are structured. They're flailing all over the place constantly. So, is it it's your choice. You can either fight, which most do, divine intelligence, because, a lot of us have that ego and think that we know best for ourselves. And in a lot of ways we do, as long as we don't fight ourselves. It's like, you sit there and you go, I didn't really care to have it happen this way. So it really boils down to the fact that how comfortable are you of letting go of the steering wheel of your life? How comfortable are you? A lot of people say, I'm going to let go of the steering wheel. I'm the one driving. I know what's best for me. I'm not going to you just leave it to divine intelligence, whatever that is. Okay? That's how it works. And then we wonder for ourselves, why are we having, these challenges and issues? You ever heard this one? I never asked for this to happen. It just happened. But in truth, for ourselves, we create everything. So what about divine intelligence? Well, you choose. You say, well, the universe, divine intelligence is handling this. I have no concern about it not turning out for the best for me. That's how you view it. I have no concern about how it's going to turn out because it'll turn out the best for me. And other people outside would go, well, you're crazy, man. You're just going to, just give it to chance. No, I'm not giving it to chance. The divine intelligence, the universe, source, is my confidant. And source knows a heck of a lot more about my existence than I do. So I go along with source, divine intelligence. It doesn't have the human element to mess it up. You see? We have certain areas that we can embrace. But then there's other areas that are kind of gray, and because the ego keeps pushing us, we try to tap, and those things, don't end up the way we would like them to. So what we do is you visualize it. Just visualize it in your heart minds. You're used to driving your life. You're used to driving a vehicle. Okay, I'm in my life. I'm in my body, and this life is the vehicle, and I'm driving it. Right? I don't have time to look around me because I'm concentrating on the road ahead. So I can't really enjoy things around me because then I would get in an accident. So, but that's the majority of the civilization. Then there are those that say, I'm letting go of the wheel. I'll let divine intelligence show for me anywhere it chooses. I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm going to take in the beauty and the nature and all the vistas, everything. I'm relaxed. I have no doubt, and I have no fear. So it's a visualization that takes place with us. And of course, you know what that means? It means that the ego it's not in there. Ego is not in there. You say, ego, I've given this to divine intelligence. And also, you're not in charge here, I am. And divine intelligence is driving my life, is navigating it. And I'm just along for the ride. Quite an interesting perspective, isn't it? Okay? Now, the ego would say, oh, you're crazy. What the heck are you talking about? You're the one that has to maneuver your life. You're the one that has to take the reins. That's crazy, just thinking you're going to give it to something that doesn't exist. You're not giving it. Doesn't it make sense to be through life by a divine intelligence rather than you driving yourself? Because a lot of the times we don't know. We aren't sure. We just kind of hunt and peck a lot of the times. So we leave it to something that is beyond our awareness in this physical world. So through the heart mind, you just say, fine. I'm letting go of the steering wheel of my life, and divine intelligence is going to show for me throughout my entire life. It is my personal chauffeur. And it is going to show for me throughout my entire life. And I am always being guided down the right road. I am always being guided down the right road with that understanding. Or it doesn't make us good, bad, or indifferent if we are so egoized that we are white-knuckling at times, the steering wheel of our life. And a lot of us do that. You ever been in a vehicle and you're driving somewhere and you get nervous? Could be a snowstorm. I've done it. I think a lot of us have been in situations where you don't realize it, but you're gripping that steering wheel so tight it's unreal. Because you're nervous. You aren't sure, what's going to come out. You imagine being in the mountains and being caught in a massive blizzard, and you're not in a four-wheel drive vehicle, you're in a sedan, and you can't see anything, and there are no guardrails, and you're going about 15 miles an hour, and the road has about a foot of snow on it. So you're white-knuckling it, you're just gripping the steering wheel because you don't know. You're filled with different feelings. Yeah. So but if you imagine that in that same scenario, that's your life. Let's say that's your life, and you're driving your life. You're the driver. You have your hands on the steering wheel, and then you shift gears and you say, well, I'm going to let go of the steering wheel. And I know that divine intelligence is my personal chauffeur throughout my entire life. So I'm not saying that, you're driving somewhere and you say, okay, divine intelligence, take the steering wheel of this vehicle. No, I'm talking figuratively. So it is our decision. That's really letting go. But a lot of us are not confident enough or trusting enough of ourselves or with the God inside to allow that to take place. So we intervene and, I'm going to do it. I know what I'm doing. How many times you said that? I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do it myself. And that's ego. So it is, each of us, our choice. And you can take it from two perspectives. You're being chauffeured by divine intelligence for your entire life, and you're just taking in the scenery. Divine intelligence is doing everything else. You're enjoying yourself.